Namaskar, Adab, Tashi Dilek from Tibet.
हर हर महादेव। भोले की फौज करेगी मौज हर रोज।
Hello and a very warm welcome. We are at the roof of the world in Tibet and at a very, very special, significant place, a place that holds absolute special reverence in the hearts of millions of devotees who follow Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, as well as those who practice the Bon religion. I am here at the Kailash Mansarovar Lake. What magnificent beauty! And absolutely, the sight that beholds is one very difficult to weave into words. That's the sacred Kailash mountain. Millions of people who want to come in here, but this is an opportunity which truly is once in a lifetime. This is a sweetwater lake, and it's actually the world's highest sweetwater lake, located at a height of 4,690 meters. Now, this is in Tibet, so it's controlled by China, but this is the region that is also the source of water for such large parts of the world, whether it's the Indus that also feeds entire parts of Pakistan, of course, flowing in via Kashmir. And we have seen that post the Pahalgam terrorist attack, the Indus Water Treaty has been kept in abeyance by the Indian government. There is the Sutlej River, the Brahmaputra, which is so crucial for India itself, and the Kerali River. All of them, their origins are from here. What is significant is that unlike the rivers in India, which we of course hold in high esteem, in high religious value, but it's also unfortunate that we tend to pollute our rivers so heavily. Whether it's the Ganges, whether it's the Yamuna, people pray to these rivers, they call it their mother, but at the same time, they're constantly dirtying the rivers. Not just with flowers, with the offerings that are used during rituals and prayers, but also throwing plastic constantly. And that's something that is strictly prohibited in these areas. If you look at the color of the water, when I came in here, it looked completely blue. And now, with the rays of the sun, within a few seconds, sometimes you see the clouds, sometimes there is a harsh sun. The weather just keeps changing shades, like the river that now looks green. Perhaps that is why these are called the mystical mountains. The magnificent, magical, beautiful mountains. And not one speck of dirt that you will find in this river. The water is clean, clear, and it is truly, truly a moment of gratitude when you are able to touch this water and to seek the blessings of Lord Shiva for all those who believe in Kailash Parbat and Kailash Mansarovar Yatra. So, unlike the rivers in India, where you have industrial pollutants, residual pollutants, the rivers are dying, here you see this river that teaches you such important lessons in the way of life, in humility. And the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra has of course resumed after 2019 because of the pandemic-induced lockdown, and then the Galwan clashes between the Indian Army and the Chinese PLA that also claimed the lives of at least 40 Indian soldiers. That moment that cast a deep dark shadow on bilateral relations. Over the last few months, a series of events, also accelerated by global events, by the coming in of President Trump into the Oval Office in Washington DC, we have seen a reset of ties. Tensions are very much there, but the dialogue continues. Top Indian leaders have been coming to China. Prime Minister Modi is expected to be in Tianjin later this year for the Shanghai Cooperation Organization summit meeting that is being hosted by China, and Chinese President Xi Jinping would like to invite him and make sure that he's here, of course, for that meeting. But for now, I'm just leaving you with these visuals. They are divine visuals and an experience that is very, very difficult to weave into words, but visuals that perhaps one can only capture really once you're here and appreciate the beauty of it. Enjoy these visuals, and I hope you can feel the silence, the peace that I feel here too. Thanks for watching.
जिसके बारे में कहना कि कैलाश में क्या है क्या नहीं है। ये एक अपने में ही है अद्भुत चीज है। वहाँ पहुँचने पे आपको ये चीज सुंदर शीतल सुगंध चीजें महसूस होंगी। आप कहीं जाएंगे आपको गर्मी लगने लगेगी, फिर आप चलेंगे तो आपको लगेगा कि ठंडक लग गई, थोड़ी देर में बरसात आ जाएगी। ये एक अद्वितीय चीज है।
हर हर महादेव, हर हर महादेव, हर 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 महादेव।
थकान तो नहीं लग रही आप लोगों को?
बिल्कुल भी नहीं।
हाँ?
हवा का झोंका आता है, थकान दूर हो जाती है।
ठंड
बिल्कुल भी नहीं, इंतजाम कर रखा है ठंड का
पूरा इंतजाम।
पूरा।
और खाने की क्या व्यवस्था आप लोगों की?
कैसे?
खाने की
कुक है, उनके साथ हम खाना बनाते
भारत
हैं।
सरकार ने कुक भेजा है इस बार।
बिल्कुल भेजा है जी।
ये अच्छी चीज हो गई
बहुत
हमने के
बढ़िया।
लिए।
हम यहाँ बागा टाउन में मौजूद हैं। एक गांव है गांगसा गांव, जहाँ से जो यात्री आते हैं कैलाश पर्वत में मत्था टेकने के लिए, यहाँ के मानसरोवर झील में शीतल मीठी पानी को छूने के लिए, स्पर्श करने के लिए, ये एक पॉइंट है। ऐसे कई और पॉइंट्स हैं जहाँ से ट्रैकिंग की शुरुआत होती है। मेरे चारों तरफ ये आप अलग अलग रंगों के और प्रकार के पहाड़ देखेंगे। जहाँ जहाँ बुद्धिस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस हुई वहाँ आपको ये तस्वीरें आम नज़र आएंगी। च्योकोंग यानी कि रिवॉल्विंग रिलीजियस ये स्ट्रक्चर्स, बेल्स, मान्यताएं हैं। लोग दिल में दुआ लेकर इन्हें रिवॉल्व करते हुए, घुमाते हुए आगे बढ़ते हैं। जो फ्लैग्स भी आपको हर जगह लहराते हुए नज़र आते हैं। अब भारत में भी आप अगर उत्तराखंड जाएं, आप धर्मशाला जाएं, या अभी मैं पिछले हफ्ते नेपाल में थी, मुस्तांग, पोखरा, जोमसोम, वहाँ पे भी आपको बहुत बुद्धिस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस दिखेंगी। मुक्तिनाथ मंदिर, वो भी 3850 मीटर की ऊंचाई पर है। उस पर भी अगर आप देखेंगे तो हिंदुओं की भी आस्था है और बौद्ध धर्म के लोगों की भी आस्था है। वहाँ पर भी आपको ये बहुत सारे जो हैं सिमिलर स्ट्रक्चर्स हमेशा नज़र आएंगे। देखिए क्या अद्भुत हैं। जो श्रद्धालु कैलाश मानसरोवर यात्रा में आते हैं और बाहरी परिक्रमा करते हैं, वो लगभग 52 से 53 किलोमीटर का फासला है। दुर्गम है ये यात्रा। अभी तो पिछले कुछ सालों में बहुत सारे रास्ते मोटरेबल हो गए हैं, लेकिन आप साथ साथ यहाँ पर देखेंगे मेरे पीछे जो तिब्बत में पाए जाने वाले याक्स हैं वो नज़र आएंगे। याक्स के साथ साथ कुछ लोग थोड़ी घोड़े की भी सवारी कर लेते हैं और पूरी आउटफिट्स में तैयार होकर श्रद्धालु अपनी आस्था की वजह से परिक्रमा करते हैं। कुछ यहाँ आते हैं क्योंकि जाहिर सी बात है दुनिया भर में इसकी चर्चा होती है। तो हम भी अब कुछ किलोमीटर ट्रैक करके कोशिश कर रहे हैं जानने की कि आखिर ये ट्रैक कितना मुश्किल है, कितनी चुनौतीपूर्ण है। लेकिन जो एक बात साफ है, जितने भी हमने हिंदू तीर्थयात्रियों से बात की जो या तो भारत से आए हैं या विदेशों से आए हैं, एनआरआईज हैं। एनआरआईज वो काफ़ी प्राइवेट टूर ऑपरेटर्स के ज़रिए से आते हैं काठमांडू से। काठमांडू से अगर आप आएंगे तो हुमला की दूसरी तरफ है पुलांग काउंटी, जहां हम मौजूद हैं, और वहां से यमद्वार का फासला ट्रैक करके लगभग 7 दिनों का है। पुलांग काउंटी में देखिए ये जा रहे हैं ट्रैकर्स। पुलांग काउंटी लासा से फ़्लाइट लेकर हम पहुंचे थे और वहां से इन ट्रैकिंग पॉइंट्स तक आने में लगभग 2 घंटे का वक्त हमें लग गया था। कैलाश मानसरोवर यात्रा पे हम निकले हैं और ये बाहरी परिक्रमा है, लगभग 53 किलोमीटर का फासला है। कुछ लोग घोड़े पर, कुछ लोग याक पर सवार होकर इसे पूरा करते हैं। ज़्यादातर जो तीर्थयात्री हैं वो पैदल चलते हैं, लेकिन ये बौद्ध धर्म के अनुयायी हैं। ये पूरा ये जो फासला है वो साष्टांग प्रणाम करते हुए जा रहे हैं। हाथों में इन्होंने लकड़ी बांधी हुई है जो चप्पल जैसा दिखता है, और इसे लेकर आप सोचिए कि जगह जगह, हालांकि कुछ कुछ क्षण के लिए, कुछ पल के लिए ये रुकेंगे भी, लेकिन कैलाश पर्वत पर हिंदू, बौद्ध, जैनियों और साथ ही साथ बौद्ध धर्म के लोगों की जो आस्था है, ये उसकी एक बहुत ही ताकतवर तस्वीर है। This has been a key confidence building measure since 1981, following of course the 2 decades of absolute distrust when we saw the 1962 India-China war. And since then it was in 2019 that we saw that the yatra was stopped because of political tensions. But now it's resumed, and this year 750 pilgrims whose names were picked up, whose applications were accepted through a random lucky draw, they are a part of the first batch of pilgrims that get to visit Kailash Mansarovar through 2 routes, Nathula in Sikkim and Lipulek in Uttarakhand. यहाँ इस ऊंचाई पर आके जो पहली प्री रेक्विजिट है वो देखना ये कि आपकी सांसें तो नहीं फूल रही हैं, आपकी लंग्स मजबूत है या नहीं, आपकी ऑक्सीजन लेवल्स कितनी हैं। सो आर यू गोइंग टू हेल्प मी सी माय ऑक्सीजन लेवल? कैन यू सी मी? देखिए, यहाँ आने के पहले हमें तिब्बती मेडिसिन दिए गए थे। हाउ मच इज इट? 7, no, it's increasing. 77. No, now it is 79. 79.95, तो लगभग जो है 80 के नज़दीक है, जिसका मतलब है कि इस वक्त जो है मुझे ये जो स्टेबल ऑक्सीजन कैन है, फ़िलहाल इसे लेने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, लेकिन ये कैन पिलग्रिम्स अपने साथ लेकर चलते हैं। और ज़रूरी होता है कि आप अपनी बॉडी की आवाज़ को सुने, धीरे स्टेप्स लें, क्योंकि ये बहुत ही दुर्गम ट्रैक है और बहुत श्रद्धा के साथ जब लोग आते हैं तो वो श्रद्धा कहीं ना कहीं उन्हें एक शक्ति देती है जिसके ज़रिए वो आगे बढ़ते हैं। यहाँ से आगे हम इस इलाके के बारे में, इसकी खासियत के बारे में आपको बताते हैं कि क्या है ये फ्लैग्स। इट्स अ वंस इन अ लाइफ टाइम अपॉर्चुनिटी एंड अ डिवाइन स्पिरिचुअल एक्सपीरियंस फॉर मिलियंस ऑफ इंडियंस, particularly those devout Hindus who want to come and visit the Kailash Mansarovar at least once in their lives. We are absolutely close to the sacred mountains right now. This is a kind of a base which is called Tharchi, and you can see behind me a lot of Tibetan flags, the Buddhist flags, the prayer flags, because Kailash Mansarovar is a sacred site of pilgrimage for Hindus, Buddhists, Jains, as well as the Bons, which was the original religion practiced by the Tibetans before Buddhism spread into the region. Right behind me, there's the peak of the mountain. We have traveled all the way from Delhi. It's a media delegation facilitated by the Chinese Embassy in New Delhi. And we've flown, actually it's been a couple of flights from Delhi to Bangkok, to Chengdu, then to Purang, from Purang airport to this point here, it's almost a 2-hour drive. हम रूफ ऑफ द वर्ल्ड में मौजूद हैं और यहाँ सबसे खूबसूरत नज़ारे को आज हम अनुभव करने के लिए बहुत सुबह पहुँचे हैं। सूर्योदय देखेंगे हम सुनहरी किरणों के साथ साथ जो उजाला देखने को मिलेगा कैलाश मंस पर्वत पर। ये जो खूबसूरती है, दुनिया में ऐसे बहुत कम स्थान हैं जहाँ इस तरह की एक अद्वितीय आप ऊर्जा को महसूस कर सकते हैं। ये अनुभव को शब्दों में पिरोना बड़ा मुश्किल है। काफ़ी सारे दुनिया के ऐसे स्थान हैं जहाँ की सनराइज़ मशहूर है, लेकिन ये एक अलौकिक जो स्थल है, यहाँ पर हमारे ये जो नॉर्थ फेस ऑफ द माउंटेन है इतने नज़दीक है, लगता है कि मानो हम इसे छू सकते हैं।
हर हर महादेव, हर हर महादेव, हर हर महादेव।
So they have like they can turn some steak back, right? So
A warm welcome, a very good morning and a Tashi Dalek from the roof of the world, Tibet. Now, there is a lot of curiosity, particularly amongst Indians, as to how does Lhasa look, the capital of the Tibetan Autonomous Region under the control of China. I'm currently here in Lhasa city. We had basically travelled all the way to Alipurang and then driven for 2 hours to the entry points from where begins the trek to the sacred mountains, the Kailash Parbat, and the resumption of the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra between India and China, the first batch of pilgrims that have now completed the trek and are headed back home. But we will try and show you some visuals from Lhasa right now. This stunning blue river right behind me, this is actually the Lhasa River. It's one of the world's highest rivers. It stretches up to 568 kilometers and it's a tributary of the Yarlung Sangpo or the Brahmaputra River. Remember, this is a region from where 4 major rivers originate, including the Brahmaputra, the Indus, the Sutlej and the Kairali, and these are rivers that feed major populations, particularly as far as South Asia is concerned. Also rivers that we say are a way of life for us Indians, but unlike in India where we tend to dirty and pollute our rivers, you look at the waters here, you hear them, sparkling clean. The waterfronts have been developed. The entire city is of course along this river, and it is in the form of an S shape bending on as we move on. Now in Lhasa, where we are also showing you some images of the marketplace, of the city. You know, unlike in India, where one can hop on to auto rickshaws, buses, during elections, we even go to states where languages may be a barrier, but you can still go and speak to people. We can just put on a mic in front of people and talk to them. That's not the case here. I am being able to record this stand-up right now. These are morning hours, but there is absolutely supervision, control in terms of foreign delegates who are coming in or journalists who are coming in. People themselves will be reluctant to talk to you on camera. There are the older Tibetans who do say that they are slightly worried about, there is anxiety about the younger generations moving on to mainland China to pursue higher education for their career. Lhasa as a city has developed beyond a doubt, particularly in the last 2 decades or a decade and a half. A whole bunch of infrastructure has been built here, roads have been developed, restaurants have come up, the locals now have better economic options, which is why you see fancier cars. A lot of the cars from Japan are very, popular here. The Teslas have been running for the last 5 years. The government in the last 5 years has now also been pushing for the electric vehicles, including some Chinese makes. There are a lot of fancy cars, which shows that people's buying capacity here has increased. It's interesting to find a lot of Nepalese restaurants. Remember, now there is that entire diplomatic spectrum of relations between Nepal and China too. And these Nepalese restaurants cater to the Indian taste. So whether you want your gobi masala, your dal, your rice, your murg masalam, if you love your non-vegetarian food, you'll find it all there. Chinese officials say that it's not difficult, it's not impossible to get a visa, even if you're an Indian, not just an NRI, to come to Lhasa as a tourist or to go, of course, for the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra during the few months of that holy pilgrimage. There are certain specific global agencies that you need to apply for the visas for and get a special permit. Now that's something you will have to, of course, go ahead and verify. But Tibet remains an absolutely sensitive, crucial issue as far as the India-China relationship is concerned. And remember, it's also an issue of controversy when in 2023 Chinese officials renamed it as Xinjiang. The etymology of the word is from Mandarin, and there are a lot of allegations by Tibetans who have been fighting for their linguistic identity, for their culture, tradition, religion, saying that it is again a step towards the erasure of all of that. Allegations that are denied by Beijing, by the Communist Party of China. But for now, while we continue to keep an eye out on the diplomatic aspects of Tibet, of its importance, let me just leave you with these stunning visuals that you can soak in the ambience.